Hello, craft beer friends, and welcome to Season 12, Episode 17 of Tap to Craft Podcast. I'm your host, Denny Luce, broadcasting from beautiful Boise, Idaho.
And I'm Kris McKenzie coming to you from Tampa, Florida. And today we're closing out Black History Month by talking about the history of black brewers in the United States, as well as a few notable black-owned breweries and the Black is Beautiful beer collaboration series.
Kris, let's start this conversation off by finding out what is in your glass tonight.
Let's see what is left in my glass tonight, which you can never really see, especially in my Florida Pint Day glass. Um,
Yeah,
but I got some Bierstadt Lagerhaus. They're the slow pour pills in my glass tonight. Little crispy boy starting off the show tonight. Nice and clear, nice and crisp. A little bit maltiness to it, but
nice.
really really good beer. 4.5%. Just starting off nice and easy. But what about you? What's in your glass this evening?
Well, I'm starting off a little dirty brown action here with my Bitch Creek Brown Ale from
Dirty
Grand
Brown.
Teton. It's my last one. I've got a few six packs of it while it was in town. I don't know if it's still in town, so I'm enjoying it. I'm already halfway through it because I needed a little drink before we got started here, and it's tasting real good.
Yeah.
But but Kris, let's get this conversation started. Before we get too far into the show, we always want to let anyone new to Tap to Craft Podcast know what we're all about. We're an educational podcast focused around celebrating all things craft beer because we want to assist you, our listener, along in your craft beer journey and adventures. And you are listening to episode 303, recording on Monday, February 23rd, 2026.
Good
And we are
catch.
live on, yeah, we are live on
3 years.
Facebook. If you would like to join us during our recording session sometime, you can do that on the Monday prior to release at 8:30 Eastern Time. And in this episode, we're going to learn, as Kris mentioned, we're going to learn about the history of black brewers in the United States, as well as having a tasting segment with the last beer that we have from Liquid Intrusion Brewing out of Maryland. It's the South of DC Cream Ale. Yeah, looking forward to that one. And of course, we have a Beer Speak 101 segment. Yeah, we brought it back. We've been busy with some interviews, so we didn't have time to do the Beer Speak, but I've had it ready to go for several weeks, and we're going to be discussing the German term Sauergut, as well as some other great conversation. And Kris and I would like to thank all of our Patreon supporters because this episode is brought to you in part by our satisfied Patreon supporters like Bill Schlemmer, Amanda and Kevin Argauer, Mike Blanchard, Tara Carlson, Jim Kutzel, Alex Fuchs, and Eric Scotty Ward, who are our virtual producers. And we have Tom Byrne, Jeff Seiler, Johan Halberg, Charlie Moss, and Mark Church, Eric Groundling, and Batman Dan, who want to buy us a virtual beer. And you can be like Peter Tim, who wants to toast his hosts. If you enjoy the content we provide, we invite you to support the show by toasting your host or buying us a virtual beer or even becoming a virtual producer. You can explore the options on our support page by visiting patreon.com/tapthecraft. All right, well, let's get right into the Beer Speak 101 segment. And this is where we briefly define common and not so common beer terminology. And as we mentioned in this episode, we're going to talk about the term Sauergut. This was brought to us by our patron, Eric Scotty Ward. He said, hey, how about this Sauergut? He heard us talk about it when we were doing other lands. No, other
Was it Other Land beer out of
Other Lands
Washington?
Beer? Is that what? Yeah, the Washington. How come I can't remember the name of the brewery? I love the
It's
beer.
it's Other Lands.
It's Other Land.
Other no
Yeah,
crap.
other. Wow, this is.
This is just rude.
No, it is Other Lands Beer. Yeah, I have the
Yeah.
bottles right there. Yeah, Other Lands. Okay. Wow, we're having some old senile moments here, but that's okay. We'll get through it. But yeah, it was mentioned during that show, so we're gonna go ahead and talk about it now. So Sauergut is a German brewing term that refers to intentionally sour wort or beer that is added back into a batch to increase the acidity. Ooh, got some Bitch Creek coming up here. Think of it as a brewer's seasoning used to dial in tartness, balance malt sweetness, and fine-tune mouthfeel rather than dominate the flavor. Traditionally, Sauergut is created by allowing lactic acid bacteria to sour a portion of the wort under controlled conditions. That soured liquid is then blended into the main beer during brewing.
Hmm. Matt Griffo just hopped on and he said that he's drinking a Flanders that he bottled
Mm,
2 years ago.
mm.
I don't even like those sour beers like that, but
It's probably, well, yeah, those are
probably
pretty
good.
harsh. It probably needed the,
He probably needed the 2 years.
yeah.
Anywho, here's why Sauergut matters in craft beer. It's more precision over punch. But unlike kettle souring or mixed fermentation, Sauergut gives brewers precise control over acidity. You're not aiming for face puckering sour. I could have totally messed that up. But subtle brightness and balance. It's got some German classic roots too. Sauergut has deep ties to traditional German styles, especially lagers, where overt sourness isn't stylistically appropriate, but balance and drinkability are king. This is also going to be Reinheitsgebot friendly because Sauergut is made from beer ingredients, not additives. It can be used while still honoring Germany's beer purity law. Old school workaround. Very clever. And then the flavor impact without the funk. You get a clean lactic acidity, no barnyard, no Brett funk, no fruit smoothie vibes, just a crisp, refreshing snap.
That's right. And where is it used? It's used in German lagers, the Helles, Pilsner, and Marzen, to sharpen the finish. It's also in alt beer and Kolsch for a subtle dryness and balance, and some modern craft lagers, especially those chasing that ultra clean European profile.
So why is it cool for craft brewers today? I want to do what's cool, Denny.
Yeah, it's cool.
In a world of pastry sours and triple dry hopped everything, sour goot is a reminder that restraint is a skill.
Mm,
It's a quiet tool that helps brewers make beers more refreshing, more balanced, and more crushable without the drinker ever realizing why.
yeah.
Sometimes the best brewing techniques are the ones you don't taste outright, you just keep going back for another sip.
Yeah, so I think, no, I'm trying to think if Eric Scotty Ward said he was going to try to brew a beer with sour goot or not. So, Eric, if you indeed tried to homebrew a beer doing the sour goot method, let us know how it turned out and how it went. That'd be great. Okay, well, there is our Beer Speak 101, sour goot. Very interesting term, something that I don't think I even realized was going on with these German lagers, which is great.
In,
Maybe that's,
I never heard the term until we chatted with Jim and Brittany over at Berry House.
oh, okay. Did they mention it too in your interview?
Um, I don't know if it was in the interview, but if it was in there and it was just a quick said it once and just continued on with the conversation.
Okay. Okay. Well, let's continue this conversation. Yeah, finish that lager. I made
Hmm.
a mistake because I finished my brown ale. It's a
Hmm.
hoppy brown ale, by the way. So I've got a little hop mouth going on, but that's okay. I'll just drink some of this cream ale from Liquid Intrusion Brewing and cleanse my palate a little bit. So, Kris, let's grab that beer and let's open this thing up. And we're going to be doing Liquid Intrusion Brewing South of DC Cream Ale, 5% ABV.
And as they
And it'll be,
say, may the liquid always prevail.
yeah. And because you guys probably noticed, this show is being done a week before, earlier than we normally do. We just recorded last
Hmm.
Monday. So I had to put this show together really quick. And I forgot to add notes about the cream ale, and we don't have the brewers on to talk about it right now. So
That's
I guess
okay.
we're just gonna go off the cuff here and
If
do it on our own.
if this beer is as good as their other ones, we don't need notes to read off of.
That's true. That's true.
We
So
really don't.
they did mention that the label art on here is a map of
Mm.
Maryland, the
Yep.
counties of Maryland there, which is kind of cool. Um, but yeah, that's all it says, 5%, and it's their yeah, that's all we get. So starting off with some aroma. Wow, it's got a little bit of
A little bit of sweetness to it.
a sweetness in the nose, almost like a berry sweetness too. But it's probably just
No, I got that too, so it's not the
is
beer you
it?
poured in there. But you drank out of a different glass, so
It's a
you're
different
okay.
glass. Yeah, I have a dirty glass here and a clean glass that I did it. So it's not the thing. But yeah, it's like almost like some berry characters in there. That's it's kind of nice. But yeah, it comes across a little bit sweet
Sweet, but a little bit of tart,
and a
like
little
a
bit tart
not
too. So
not
I'm
tart, just it's got a sweet but sour, like a lightly not bad sour.
not yeah,
Um,
but no, I know exactly what you mean. Like it comes across like it's got some yeah, like it's got some juice, some
yeah,
fruit juice in there or something that gives a little bit of a tartness. Wow. So now I'm intrigued to actually try. Oh, the coloring. It is an golden amber color. You can see through it. I do have some haze on my glass here,
yeah, a little
but I can see through it.
and
Uh,
condensation.
lots of bubbles coming up, so that's nice. Like seeing the bubbles. I didn't
Hmm.
get much head on mine. Did you get any head on yours? I poured it kind of soft.
I still have some left,
Okay.
but I've also
Okay.
been doing this to get my aromas.
Okay. Right now the temperature is pretty cool for me, so it's going to be a nice crisp. So let's take a sip and see what we taste on this thing. Mm. Wow.
I hate these guys don't get beer to us locally.
This is uh this is definitely it has everything that we kind of smelt in there except it doesn't have any sour or tartness.
No. Well,
It has almost like a candy like a candy bracelet. Like those little
yeah.
candy bracelets. It's almost
Yeah.
like that type of fruitiness in it, which is not overly fruity, kind of like
It's like Smarties or those candy
Smarties.
necklaces,
Yeah,
but
but a low amount
very
of that.
subtle. Very,
Yeah,
very
very
subtle.
subtle. Very drinkable too.
Hmm.
Uh,
Um,
they're, I think they mentioned this is like one of their flagships, right?
yes, it is.
I can see why. This is a super easy drinker, and I like that. I do kind of like that little, like you said, sweet tart without the tartness, like the
Hmm.
the candied fruit uh, uh, candies, I guess, but little light in there, and it's very pleasant.
I've been excited about drinking this ever since we chatted with them, what, 3, 4 weeks ago?
Hmm.
And it's been sitting in the in my beer fridge, and I had to just to make sure I didn't drink it. I had to put
Yeah,
a
put the
lid
cap
on it
on. Yeah.
to make sure that either I didn't grab it by mistake and go, oh crap, I need to hold on to that one, or Tina go out there and grab it and go, oh, cream ale. Oh, okay, let's give that a go. And
Yeah, yeah. Good thinking. Good thinking. Yeah, great beer. Man, I that's all the beers they gave us were really
spectacular.
tasty. And
Yeah.
this one is so clean, so subtle. It's subtle yet gives a little bit of boldness to it, but not too much. It kind of like goes up and gives you a little boldness, but comes back down into a
Hmm.
nice subtle uh, flavor. And I am really enjoying that beer.
And it has
I need to
just
not
a
drink so much.
yeah, no, and it has just a smidge of hop bitterness at the very end of it. That is just very light, very nice. So starting off sweet,
Okay, I'm bringing up
not too
the
sweet.
beer here. It says what they say on their Untapped here is a crisp, light, refreshing, and definitely crushable. That's true.
Excuse me.
Pairs well with family, friends, finger foods, and football. And it says in here does not contain dairy or lactose, which is good. I wonder if it's because it does have that,
That
you know,
almost
that
vanilla fruitiness to it.
yeah, a little bit of fruity, maybe yeah, maybe some lactose, but it's not sweet, and it's yeah, it's but man, it's really good. Oh, I think because it's a cream ale, people might be thinking there's cream
Yeah.
in it.
Well, and I don't know if you remember this at all because this was over a year ago, but when we chatted with what was his name over at Mother Earth, Kris?
Chris Baker, yeah.
Yeah. Um, one of the parts of our conversation was that they had to keep telling people that there was no it wasn't supposed to be creamy. It was
Yeah.
just, and that's why they ended up adding the vanilla to it and
Yeah.
making that Cali cream ale because so many people were like, well, it's not creamy or it's not sweet,
Hmm.
and everybody was like, well, it should be, and that's kind of how theirs turned out.
So, so to compare and contrast this beer with the Cali Cream and Vanilla Ale, the Cali Cream and definitely is like bold in the vanilla.
Yeah.
It's definitely comes across more sweeter. This one is delicate, light, clean, and like I said, the flavors are just there, subtly, not overwhelming the beer, and it's just. And I think the word crushable is correct. This thing is
Yeah.
definitely crushable, and enjoyable. Yeah, I'm trying not just to suck it all down in three sips because, but this one you could drink fast. So
Yeah, you could put a couple of these down rather quickly and not even really think about it. And I hope I get the chance to someday in the future.
yeah, yeah. So again, if you're in the Maryland in the King or the not King, the
Prince
George
George's
County,
County area, Prince George's County.
Prince George's County. I, I don't know my Maryland spots.
That's okay, we got you.
If you're in that area, seek out Liquid Intrusion Brewing beers. Try them and let us know what you think because Kris and I are big fans so
Hmm.
far. Really, really well done beers. Um, providing flavors and experiences that that are unique to to their style of beer. They're
Yeah.
liquid, I
And
guess
well,
they
then
call it.
and these like I'm still dreaming about this one. The African Queen and her
Hmm.
seven seas. Uh, but like all of the beers and even their saison.
Yeah, saison was good. Yeah,
Oh my gosh, that
yeah,
was so good, especially from
yeah.
from someone who doesn't like them.
I was hoping that on their Untapped thing they would list the hop that was in there. I don't know what the hop
In
is,
the
but
cream ale?
yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, but really good. Okay, well, I think we've done enough of that. We'll move on to the next segment unless you have anything else to say, Kris.
No, I think you covered it. I covered it. It's delicious. I want more of it. And easy drinker, crushable, and the untapped
Yeah,
listing is quite accurate.
it's accurate. Exactly. All right. Well, let's get into the brew buzz then. And the brew buzz is devoted to discussing various related topics. And in this episode, we're gonna learn about the history of black brewers in the United States, as well as some notable black-owned breweries, and of course, we're gonna discuss the Black is Beautiful beer collaboration series. So, starting off with a legacy worth celebrating. Even though African Americans have been involved in brewing for centuries, black ownership in the U.S. craft beer industry remains extremely rare, representing less than 1% of nearly 10,000 breweries nationwide. Brewing and black history in America have deep roots from enslaved brewers using their skills during early colonial history to entrepreneurs breaking barriers in the 20th century. The story is one of resilience, creativity, and community.
Yeah. And Drew even had the number too. He was like 86. It was like 86 breweries out of 10,000. And yeah, it's definitely less than 1%. That's, 0.86%.
Hmm.
So let's check out some early pioneers and some of their milestones. So you've got John Randolph Smith, a reportedly blind African American entrepreneur who announced a brewing venture in Philadelphia in 1955. He was considered an early, though obscure, example of black brewing entrepreneurship in post-war America. You also have National Black Brewers Day. Each October 10th commemorates the 1970 purchase of People's Brewing in Oshkosh, Wisconsin
Hmm.
by Theodore A. Ted Mack Sr., making him one of the first black brewery presidents in U.S. history. Despite these early figures, a major systemic lack of ownership opportunities, from capital barriers to exclusionary industry networks, meant that black brewers stayed disproportionately underrepresented for decades. You always give me the ones with the big words in it.
Because you can handle it, man. You can handle
I can handle the big ones. Is that what it
it. That's
is?
right. You can handle the big ones.
Jesus. Oh. So, in today's movement, recent years, community efforts like the National Black Brewers Association and initiatives such as Black is Beautiful collaborative beer movement have spotlighted racial equality and helped build support for black brewers nationwide.
All right. Well, let's talk about some black brewers and influencers making waves today. Here are some current black brewers and beer makers who are contributing to innovation, representation, and community in craft beer. We have Celeste Beatty from Harlem Brewing Company out of New York, one of the most influential brewers in the U.S. Celeste Beatty is widely recognized as the first black woman to own a brewery in the country. She founded Harlem Brewing Company in 2000 and has spent decades breaking barriers and mentoring others in the industry. Then we have Elisa Bowens Mercado, Rhythm Brewing out of New Haven, Connecticut. Wow. I've been to New Haven when I was in the Navy. Founder of Connecticut's first black woman-owned brewery, Elisa opened Rhythm Brewing in 2018. Her work, including collaborations with major breweries like Samuel Adams, has helped grow visibility and access for brewers from underrepresented communities. Then we have April Dove, the community out of Charleston, South Carolina. April Dove is a brewer innovating with culturally meaningful ingredients such as, what is that,
Fonio?
Fonio, which is an ancient West African grain, to create beers that connect heritage with craft. She's one of Charleston's first black brewers and continues to expand what craft beer can taste like and represent. I think, along with her, who we interviewed last episode, using unique ingredients from around the world and techniques brewed from, his mom.
With Leo's mom, that still blows my mind.
Yeah.
And the fact that was just a normal everyday thing in where he grew up. It was just that all the women were brewing beer and
Yeah.
and she was even malting her own grain.
Yeah, germinating and everything. That is
That's
amazing.
insane to me because
Yeah.
whether you're home brewing or if you brew professionally, like I thought it was a hassle to have to go to the homebrew shop and pick up my bottles of you know my liquid extract and my grains for whatever I was using. And like
Hmm.
these women are out here spreading grain out, sprouting everything, and then I'm sure they're crushing it up and using it for whatever they're brewing. It's just
Yeah.
incredible to me.
Yeah, it is incredible. I agree. All right. Then we had John Rinthrop from Cajun Fire Brewing out of New Orleans, Louisiana. Headed by brewer and entrepreneur John Rinthrop, Cajun Fire Brewing infuses New Orleans culture and flavor into its beers, gaining attention for bold styles and community focus. And then the last one there's, like Kris said, there's 86 breweries and stuff. We just have a few that you might not have heard of. Evan Fay from Roar Brewing out of Detroit, Michigan. A U.S. Air Force veteran, Fay opened Roar Brewing in Detroit in 2025 as the city's first black-owned brewery. His flagship Black Honey Oat Stout and community-eccentric taproom events aim to create inclusive spaces where beer culture reflects the city's diversity. Nice.
So how are these brewers changing the craft beer industry? Along with many others across the country, they're doing more than just brewing great beer. They're diversifying the craft beer narrative. They're challenging the stereotype of who makes and drinks craft beer. They're mentoring and creating pathways for the next generation of black brewers. And they're also blending cultural heritage with brewing innovation. So they're offering new styles and approaches that broaden what craft beer can be.
Nice. Okay, so we again 86 breweries. We can't we don't want to spend all night here trying to name them all, but we picked 10 notable U.S. black-owned breweries, and a small amount of their stories here. So these represent the past and the present that exemplify the growing impact of black brewers in the U.S. And Kris, we'll just go back and forth between one. So I'll start off with the first one. We already mentioned Harlem Brewing Company in New York, founded by Celeste Beatty in 2000. This brewery is one of the most celebrated black-owned breweries in the country, and Celeste became the first American black woman, first African-American woman to own a brewery in the United States. Brewing has always embraced cultural storytelling in its beers and branding.
Okay, then we got Crowns and Hops Brewing out of Inglewood, California. It's co-founded by Benny Ashburn and Tio Hunter. Crowns and Hops has prioritized Black cultural heritage in every release. They were early collaborators with major breweries like Allagash to push initiatives supporting racial equity in beer.
Yeah, and this was the same. This is a brewery that's basically, I think, just opened. The one that was doing that grant, the
Oh, was it?
yeah, the Trill grant.
Yeah, I remember we chatted about that on the last episode.
It was Crowns and Hops Brewing, and then they've so again we've already kind of mentioned them in the previous show, but I thought it would be good to have them here. Then we have Full Circle Brewing out of Fresno, California, owned by Arthur Moy. Full Circle has skyrocketed production since 2016, expanding from local draft beer to national distribution. A major success story amid the industry's underrepresentation of black owners.
All right. Hella Coastal Brewing in Oakland, California. California's got a lot of breweries in general. We've got what is that note? Yeah, go ahead and delete. Just delete that. Okay, cool. I love that we can just edit notes on the fly and we both see it. All right, so Hella Coastal Brewing out of Oakland, California, founded by Chaz Hubbard and Mario Benjamin. Oakland's Hella Coastal is at the forefront of California's black brewing community, creating locally inspired beers and building place-based identity through craft.
All right, then we have Black Viking Brewing out of Gaithersburg, Maryland. MD is Maryland, right?
Yes.
Okay. Just that little, I was pretty sure, confident in myself, and then I had to second guess it. Okay, good. Started in 2021 by co-founders Jamil Abdur Rauf and Sean B. Taylor. This brewery is among the first black-owned breweries in Montgomery County and is working towards broader regional distribution.
Policy Kings in Salt Lake City, Utah. Now, Salt Lake City's first black-owned brewery, Policy Kings, was founded by DeAndre and Sarah Ridgel and includes collaboration brews, cultural art, and community-focused events like Soul Food Sunday brunches. Oh my gosh, that
nice.
sounds so good. I'm in. Let's go.
Now that is, talk about unique things that will bring people to your brewery is definitely like a soul food Sunday brunch, right? I mean, come on, that's
Well, I mean, that's two phrases that usually don't go together, but man, they should. They should go together more often.
yeah. It was even like I like unique things like that. Like when we were talking with,
Denise and Leo.
no, now I'm changing to non-black brewery, but the guys that we're cooking in New Mexico, the Plow Get Plowed.
Tractor
Brewing, yeah. They mentioned that they have a goth night, and I'm just like, that's the first time I've ever heard of a night devoted to goth night, and it's amazing that you can have an event like that and bring in a whole nother part of the community to enjoy your beer is great. Okay, how about Sankofa Beer Company out of Washington, D.C., based in D.C. Sankofa, named after West African symbol meaning go back and take, reflects the founder's celebration of heritage and craft, and it's listed among notable black breweries nationally.
All right, then you got Joyhound Beer Company in Baltimore, Maryland. It's founded by neuroscientist. I don't think that was on the bingo card of people founding breweries, but neuroscientist Alfred Rotimi. Joyhound emerges scientific precision with artistic inspiration to create a community-focused craft brewery.
Nice. Then we got Conzo Brewing out of Atlanta, Georgia. Launched in 2017 by Kevin Downing, Corby Hanna, and William Teasley. Conzo honors ancient brewing traditions while innovating in the modern craft space.
And last but not least is going to be Venture Brew Company out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, led by co-owners Simon McConico and Robert Gustafson. Venture blends coffee and craft beer culture in a unique brew pub environment, one of a small number of breweries wholly or partially black owned in the U.S.
Nice. All right. Well, that is looking at the brewers, the breweries, and a little bit of the history. Let's go into the Black is Beautiful beer collaboration, one of the most impactful moments in recent beer history, and a great story for Black History Month segment is the Black is Beautiful collaboration. What is it? Black is Beautiful is a global beer collaboration project launched in 2020 by Weathered Souls Brewing, a black-owned brewery in San Antonio, Texas. The project created a shared imperial stout recipe and invited breweries around the world to brew their own version under the Black is Beautiful label. The goal is simple but powerful. Use beer to raise awareness about social injustices faced by people of color, promote diversity in the industry, and support organizations working towards equity and inclusion.
Hmm. Eric Gronley just hopped on, said cheers, guys. And just
Cheers, man.
a few minutes ago, Steve Korsman, or as you and I know him as Florida Steve,
Florida Steve. Yeah.
hopped on and said hello as well. So here's how Black is Beautiful works. Breweries that participate in the Black is Beautiful project are going to commit to brewing their version of the Black is Beautiful stout using a base recipe provided by Weathered Souls. They're going to donate a portion of proceeds to local organizations focused on racial justice, community support, or equity, and using a shared artwork and messaging to amplify the movement's message that Black is beautiful, a celebration of Black identity and inclusion in craft beer. The impact that's happened so far, the initiative has brought together thousands of breweries across all 50 states and many countries worldwide to brew and sell their versions of the beer. Early efforts raised millions of dollars for nonprofits and social justice causes. Black is Beautiful Volume 2 was launched to further support the National Black Brewers Association, with participating breweries donating funds directly to help grow representation in the industry. This collaboration does more than just put beer on the shelf. It sparks conversation and brings awareness to the importance of diversity and inclusion in beer culture and community spaces.
Yeah, what I really enjoyed this collaboration project. I really liked seeing the different beers that people were they were brewing. At first, it was all imperial stouts, and so
Hmm.
I buy a bunch of different ones, and they were imperial stouts with some kind of a twist to it that the brewery put on. But as it went on over the year, just after the first year and it continued on into the second year and third, and I'm still seeing Black is Beautiful beers come around, which is
Really?
nice. It's still being done. Is that they didn't just stick to the imperial stout recipe. They kind of went and did black IPAs and they did Schwartz beers or things that were still a dark beer, but wasn't just another imperial stout that has been brewed all over the place. So it's kind of nice to get those two in conjunction with the the imperial stout. But yeah, the beers were great, and I wish there was a category for Black is Beautiful. I could check and see how many of those I checked
Yeah.
into, but I know I drank a lot of different varieties from breweries all over the country and locally here. We had quite a few breweries participate and brew their own version, which was really nice. So okay, well that is our tribute to Black History Month in 2026. We had two interviews of black-owned breweries, which I really enjoyed listening to each of those stories. And then we did this little history thing. It's amazing that we've gone 12 years, and this is the first time that I thought about doing Black History
Well, and
topic.
you know what? I think it was really interesting too, and it's just kind of how things lined up for us.
Hmm.
I've I've reached out to so many breweries via TikTok, social media, or whatever, and these two signed up for these dates just on a whim. It
Hmm.
was just, I guess that's the way the cards were dealt, and the fact that there was this correlation, it was just absolute perfection the way that it was set up. So it was
Yeah,
nice to be able to do it. Um, Plus, it also gave us another part of the craft beer industry that we focus so much on. I mean, we talk a lot about that. We are an educational podcast
hmm,
focused around all things craft beer, and you know what?
true.
That gave us one more thing to focus on.
That's right. That's right. Good point, Kris. Good point. Okay. Well, that's the end of the brew buzz. And I already finished my beer.
I don't want
I
to
have one
finish
more.
this beer.
I have one more beer to drink tonight.
What's
But
left?
uh, but we do have a couple more upcoming interviews. So we have Mark Osborne from Adroit Theory Brewing out of Purcellville, Virginia. He'll be joining us on March 16th, our next episode. Wait, is that our next episode?
Yep.
Okay. I'm losing track. I think it's our next episode. Then we have Tom Everett from Von Trapp Brewing out of Stowe, Vermont. He'll be joining us on March 30th. So we have two interviews in March that we will be doing. Feedback from last show. Well, it's been so short, we haven't got any feedback. So no feedback, no voicemails this time. If you would like to send us a voicemail, we'd love to hear it. Call 208-536-3359. Too many numbers. How about 208-53 oddly? Program it in your phone and just yell out, call Tap to Craft Podcast and leave us your message. And if you'd like to leave us an email, you can do that at taptocraft@gmail.com. Or if you want to just leave us a note on Facebook, we'd love to hear it at facebook.com/taptocraft. Don't forget, we do have a website at taptocraft podcast or taptocraft
Tap the craft, tap the
taptocraft.com.
craft, tap the craft, tap the craft,
I
tap the
must have
craft.
drank these beers too fast. It's already affecting me. Besides all the burping I'm trying to do to hold back the bubbles. These are bubbly beers.
Yeah, worth it though. Worth it.
Yeah, it is worth it. Okay, Kris, let's continue the conversation because now it is time to untap the craft and see what listeners are drinking according to Untapped.
All right. So remember, if you want us to read your check-ins, make sure you follow me on Untapped at K9 Hops. That's the letter K, the number 9, HOPS. And we will usually read your check-ins approximately 24 hours prior to show's recording. So we're going to start off with me, Denny.
Ooh,
I drank
okay.
two beers from Monday Night Brewing.
Oh, in
These were
Georgia.
given to me. Yep, out of Atlanta, Georgia. These were given to me by Batman Dan, and Batgirl Jessie, because I haven't got to call her Batgirl Jessie in a long time, and I feel like I'm slipping. Um, and these were two gluten-free beers.
Oh,
Now, if I
nice.
remember correctly, one of them was, let's see, where was it? It's called Big Idea, and it was a gluten-free IPA. The second one was called Placebo Pills, which was a gluten-free Pilsner. Specifically, I can't remember. But Placebo Pills, just a gluten-free Pilsner. Yeah. These were brewed with millet, buckwheat, and rice, I believe, were the three grains that were used for these beers. And my notes, I gave them both 3.5 caps because for what they are, these are surprisingly good beers for
Hmm.
gluten free. Um, I've had some gluten free beers in the past where it was like, oh, you can definitely tell that this is a gluten free beer. And you're like, I'm glad I can tolerate gluten. But these were surprisingly good. And I had both of them yesterday. Just we were cooking some food. Uh, well, yesterday was Sunday, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was Sunday.
Um, Yesterday was a big day, right? We had the USA took gold in ice hockey, so like we it was a long, busy day for us cooking breakfast, watching hockey, and I might have had a beer at 8 o'clock in the morning when the game
Go
kicked
for
off,
it.
right?
Yeah.
Um, so starting off the day that way, and then just had more reason to stand outside and drink a beer because the weather was nice, and I was cooking on the grill again, so I had to have another beer. So I got to try out a couple of beers. All that being said, Dan and Jesse, thank you so much for sending these out to us. They were very tasty, and I was very surprised at how good they were for being gluten-free beers. So cheers to you guys. Next on the list is going to wait, where'd it go? It's going to be Kevin Page is drinking a hazy, sexy, cool New England style IPA by Birdsong Brewing. He said very drinkable, 3 3/4 cap rating for him. He's also got a few other check-ins throughout this list too. Uh, Chad Lamassa is drinking a repertoire for the utterly pathetic. Now, this is flipping the script a little bit because I just read a Kevin Page check-in that was for not Burial
Not
Brewing,
burial, and
but
now you got
Chad
Chad
is
at burial.
drinking Burial beer
Do you know why?
because somebody got it for him
No,
because
I
it's
think he was
available in
at
Maryland.
burial.
He said, thanks to Douglas C. and Crystal C. for this one too. Love the can art, strong and hoppy,
Hmm.
and it maxed out my Sky's the Limit badge. A repertoire for the utterly pathetic by Burial Beer Company. 5 cap rating he gave for this one. And it is definitely a cool label art on this one. It's kind of like a old Nintendo game. It's got a kind of a messed up picture of John Madden in it. Chad, I don't even know how I would describe that one, man. But hey, I appreciate you continuing your check-in streak with us. We're 2 million shows in for you on that one. Um, let's see. Scrolling on up, Matt Griffo is drinking a Moonlit Prophecy by Odd Colony Brewing Company. He said, "Actually, I had this Saturday, but forgot to check in, buddy. I know the struggle. I still have all these beers on my desk that I have not checked into, so I get it.
Oh
I'm
wow,
right there with you. I know I'm
slacker.
slacking. Forgive me. All right. Absolutely amazing. I would drive back to Pensacola if I knew I could still get this beer. 5 cap rating for his Moonlit Prophecy from Odd Colony Brewing. Leo is drinking a Happy Place by Neighborhood Brewing Company at the Yellow Dog Brewing Company. Great. Another dog themed brewery. That's all I need. 4 1/4 caps, but no notes to go along with that one. So thanks for that check in, Leo. Jeremy Garrison. This is going to confuse me when I read this because I read this earlier. He's drinking a Hello, Good Morning by Bert's Brewing
Yeah, it's a good.
at
I had a
Voodoo
taste
Brewing.
of that. Oh, at Voodoo.
I'm so confused. Um,
It's because Voodoo doesn't have any Voodoo beers on tap, or very few. They have all guest taps.
hey man, if that's how they gotta get the door open, because that's what ours did
Uh,
here locally. Yours over on West Cable Car in Boise. Uh, must be doing the same thing. So, let's see. So he gave it a 4 1/2 cap rating for Bert's Brewing. Yeah, no kidding. I wouldn't doubt it. He said, after work get together, nice and roasty, great one on a cloudy, dreary evening. 4 1/2 caps for that one. Eric Gronley checking into a Superior Chill IPA by Castle Danger Brewery. A lot to like with this one. Earthy, spicy rye character, grapefruit and orange citrus, filling and refreshing in one. Oh, it's liquid bread. It's meal in a can. Right? 4 cap rating to go along with this Superior Chill IPA. And when I refresh the feed, Denny, that's what everybody's drinking.
okay. Well, I want to wish Chad Lamassa a happy birthday because I
Yes.
think he was drinking birthday beers
I think that was
with burial and
yesterday or the
stuff.
day before. I can't remember.
Yeah, I think it was Saturday.
Denny,
But
what
yeah,
what is this? What is this crap?
yeah, yeah.
What
While you were talking, I added
you
some new
bastard.
note.
Okay. All right, so listen, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna beat you to this. So we started the show, and I'm calling you out, Denny. We started the show and we're scrolling through our notes, and I scroll down and I don't have anything in my new and noteworthy section, and Denny doesn't either. And I'm like, yeah, since last week I haven't really had anything new and noteworthy. He goes, yeah, me either. I get done reading the Untapped the Craft section, and this son of a bitch has got three of the three beers in there that I guess he
It's
just.
it's because it's because we were running a little bit fast. I didn't want to have a
Okay.
show only like 30 minutes,
Okay.
so I thought let me just throw a couple beers in here that I did have since we last recorded, so that we could have a little more content. Because if not, we're ending it right now. So
I
let's give the
know.
listeners a little bit more content.
We're almost
So
to an hour.
we're almost to an hour, so we're at an hour. That's okay. We'll be good. But it was a short week, but I did go to two breweries over the weekend and drank with friends. And I drank with my buddy Alex Fuchs. He was in town for a very short time. We literally only had Friday to drink. And we went to Bert's because he requested to go to Bert's because he enjoys Bert's Brewing and also thinks that they make some fantastic beers.
He's not wrong.
And yeah, and I had the only new beer I had was this Bert's Brewing German-Style Helles Lager. Now,
Mm.
I've had other Helles that they've produced, but this is the one that they've labeled with a different label that says German-Style Helles Lager. So it had a new check-in, so I checked into it. I'm not sure if it's the same beer or not, but it was tasty. Let me go ahead and see what I had to say about it real quick. I gave it a 4.5 cap rating. Super easy drinking. I mean, really a easy drinking beer for sure. Um, so what I said is crisp and light and so easy drinking. Enjoying some tasty beers with my buddy Alex. 4.5 cap rating. And then on Sunday, I went to beers with my buddy Bob at Alliteration Ales, an alliteration for the brewery there, Alliteration Ales. I can't say alliterations very well.
Alliteration.
And we had some beers, alliterations,
So
L's.
for those of you
And if you
playing
know what
along at home, alliteration is using the same first letter in each word, right?
yes, yes, yes. And that's why I have trouble with them because I can't repeat letters so fast. But I had three beers I hadn't had before, and I'll talk about two of them. The first one I gave a 4.5 cap rating is the Cloudy Curiosity. I could say that one. New England style IPA. Gave us a 4.5 cap rating. I said such an enjoyable hazy IPA, easy drinking with great fruity citrus hops. It's hard for me to explain. I didn't really. For one thing, trying not to. I was trying to check in with it without distracting from my visit. But man, this beer really had some great flavors and wasn't just the standard citrus you get from every hazy IPA. It had
Mm.
like a blend of citrus in there that just really made it enjoyable. That's why I put on a new and noteworthy. And then I finished off with and I'm going to have trouble saying this one, She Sells Seashells Stout.
That's good stuff.
And it was funny because it was my third beer and I was ordering this one before, and the person at the bar next to me that while I was trying to order it started laughing. And I said, yeah, I'm not good at alliterations, especially once I have so many S's in it. I just have trouble saying all those S's. But she
See,
said I did pretty good at saying it.
so alliteration ales,
She
she
sells,
sells seashells stout.
stout. Yeah.
Oof, drink a couple beers, that'd be a tough one.
Yeah, yeah. But I'll tell you what, I gave it a 4.25 cap rating. But man, this is a solid stout. Had all the right, characteristics of a good stout. Not too roasty, not too bitterness. Little bit of coffee-ish character in there, but not too much. It one thing it was maybe missing was I didn't feel like I got a lot of chocolate, like dark chocolate in there. And I do enjoy getting some dark chocolate in my stouts, but still, what I said is it's a solid stout hitting all the right points, just enough bitterness and roast, 4.25 cap rating. So yeah, those are my new and noteworthy. Um, and yes, I am not very good at alliterations.
That's one new thing I've learned about you today, Denny. Just not good at alliteration, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm
Anything
trying.
repeating, it brings back to I think I mentioned on the show before. I did like early in my childhood. I went through 3 years of speech therapy
Mm,
to help cope with a stuttering problem I had.
okay.
And so I still deal with that today, but I've learned to cope with it so well that a lot of times, hopefully, people don't notice that I pause and have to think through my stuff. But when it comes to alliterations, I have a lot of trouble
Mm.
focusing on getting out the syllables correctly and not making a total mess of myself. So, okay, Kris, enough of that. It is the end of the show. Before we close out this short show, see, it's a short show, Kris. It's time to raise a glass to someone to raise a glass to tonight. So, who would you like to raise a glass to?
I'd love to raise a glass to Chad Lamassa. Like Denny mentioned, happy belated birthday to you, Chad. I know it was a couple of days ago, and it'll be a few more days after this. It'll be about a week or so after this show
Yeah.
finally releases next Thursday. But happy birthday, man. I hope you had an awesome day, and looks like you had some great beers too. So cheers to you, my friend.
Nice.
And Denny, who would you
Okay,
like to
me?
raise a glass to?
Yeah, I'll raise this glass that I'm almost finished with my third beer tonight. Patreon toast goes out to our buddy in Sweden, Mr. Johan Halberg. I hope you're doing well, buddy. Really appreciate your long-standing patronage. Cheers to you, and I hope you're brewing some great beers out there in your almost your homebrew commercial brewery you have in your backyard. Also, raised my glass to my buddy Alex. Like I said, he came into town, very short visit. We only had a few hours on Friday afternoon to go out and grab a beer before he flew off to San Francisco to go do some beer travels in San Francisco. But it was great to spend some time and catch up and drink beers. And of course, like he always does, he brought me about almost a dozen beers from Israel for me to try. So stay tuned in the next episode to hearing about my new noteworthy from some new Israeli beers and Alex's first commercially brewed beer, officially commercially brewed in a big brewery. I'll be tasting that probably tomorrow and give my 2 cents on that. So cheers to Alex. And then I also mentioned that I did go yesterday to Alliteration Ales to drink some beers with my buddy Bob. So cheers to you, Bob. His mom just passed away on
Hmm.
Saturday, and he just needed to get out and have a chat and have some beers and just have some good conversation. So I appreciate that I was there to be able to give him what he needed on Sunday. So cheers to you, Bob. And of course, being a former serviceman, I want to raise my glass. I want to thank all those who have served and who are currently serving in its military services, protecting our freedoms. Thank you for your service, and I hope all who are deployed are able to return home safely to their families very soon.
Cheers.
And you can find the beers mentioned on the show in the show notes located on the show post at tapthecraft.com. Wow, you got a new closing here,
I
Kris.
do. Yeah. Just
Okay, well,
because,
why don't you go ahead and read it?
all right, it is last call and it is time to bring a show to a close. And Denny, I'll raise a glass to Foam Fresh, Friends Faithful, and Fridges Fully Stocked.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
All right. Well, we want to thank you for downloading and listening. We ask you to please tell a friend and, of course, subscribe on your favorite podcast app. And as a reminder, we release a new show every 2 weeks. Now go out there and spread the good word of craft beer.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Usually I just finish my beer off, but there is no way I'm doing that right
You're
now.
not
Thank
going
you
to do it. You're too
guys.
full.
Hey, listen, I ate so much today, but